Hi, everybody. It's RS Mallory. It is September 14th in Hallelujah, Austin, Texas. After 2 months of 100-degree weather and no rain, we actually got some rain yesterday and today. So blessings from the universe. Another blessing from the universe is our ability to work from home in our chosen businesses. Tonight, we're going to talk about the art of the presentation. And as long as there's been network marketing companies and direct sales companies, people have been giving presentations, and there's a lot of great trainers and not so great trainers and a lot of stuff out there, especially since the internet. But I thought that we should talk about some of the basics of doing a presentation and breaking it down. Years ago, we would meet people in hotel rooms or go to an IHOP, or we would pick up a telephone and a regular telephone, and we would do conference calls. And there were no such thing as Zooms or Skypes or stuff like that face to face. We didn't have smartphones, so we weren't able to do that too with WhatsApp and stuff like that. But the anatomy of a presentation just doesn't ever change, which no matter what venue we have. So a presentation is for the opportunity and the business and the products that you have available and are looking for people to join your company and your personal team. And first of all, I'd like to say we don't drag people off the street and stuff like that. And I have always been, in my 30-year career, very selective about who I invite onto my team and the people that join my team, because to me, my team is like a family, and I want people to be like-minded people, and I want them to be able to work together for everybody's benefit. So it is like a family. So I think back in 2015, I was asked for the Network Marketing Magazine to write an article on the art of the presentation, and that's what this training is based on. So let's just assume that the presentation is going to be a one-on-one presentation. It could be a Zoom presentation, or you could be talking on the phone or Facebook Live, or even a WhatsApp with this person. So what did you want to do first? First of all, you don't want to bore the person to death, and you want to have the facts, the basic facts. You don't want to put a spin on it. You don't want to have any fairy tales. You don't want to embellish things. You don't want to say people are making trillions of dollars and millions of dollars, because that just doesn't happen. And it gives the industry of direct sales and network marketing and e-commerce a bad name. So we just want to be very direct, and we want to be honest. And when we're honest, then we are believable. So just present the facts of the company and the different products. So what we really want to make sure that we do is when you're chatting with somebody and you do a Zoom with them, you likely have some notes on them. You have had some preliminary conversations with them. And so I have a notebook. And every time I talk to somebody new, I open up a page and I take notes on, do they have a family? What do they presently do for a living? What are their talents? Things like that. We've discussed a lot of this stuff before. But the reason I want to do that is because I want to have an idea of what they are looking to achieve, and so that I can present a solution to their challenges. So our opportunity via our products will show them a pathway, and we will take them on a journey so that they can see that we have a solution to their challenges. They might have several. They might have wellness challenges. They might have financial challenges. They might have logistic challenges, whatever they are. Because we know our company and our products, we want to structure our presentation to that particular person, to show them that we indeed do offer solutions. And so the first way we do that is with a statement of resolution. We want to help folks create a financial wealth and physical wealth and well-being. And if they have a physical problem, we want to be able to offer them that too. We want to build in and show them that this opportunity is not for them to put money in my pocket, but we're looking for people who want to work and have a financial goal, people who want to have time freedom for their family, perhaps spend more time with their little ones. I used to love to travel, and I had a son, and I always thought it would be wonderful on vacations, instead of taking my kid to Disney World, to put him on a plane and take him to Europe and show him some of the old architecture and the history of some of the different countries that are there. And when you are in network marketing and e-commerce and you decide to build in a particular country, you can go there and it becomes tax-free. So you can take your family on those type of travels with you, and it becomes tax deductible. You want the person to know that they too will have the ability to take advantage of these things, spend time, have time freedom, spend time with their family and their friends, and be able to give them more than they've been able to give them previously. Touch on some of the goals that most folks are seeking, and in particular, the things that they have voiced to you. Again, you will have some notes on these folks. You've had preliminary conversations with them. So you want to point out that the company, whatever it is, and this is a generic training, will afford them the opportunity to do that vis-a-vis their pay plan, their business plan, the people who are the leaders in the company, their expertise, their knowledge, the culture of the company, and that will and also the products. In the case of the company that we're presently in, we have $4 trillion industries. So if I was presenting to Mary, I would briefly go over the 4 different industries to her, and I would give her a 1 or 2 sentence synopsis of what those industries are, and point out that it's not necessary for Mary to know and become an expert on all 4 of those industries. In fact, she may only want to deal with one of them and focus on one of them. Some people focus on 2 or 3. Some people focus on 4. We happen to have tools available to us, and now that it's 2023, some of them are online tools, offline tools, but one of the most important tools of the new era of internet is that we have in our companies Facebook groups, private Facebook groups with testimonials and different ways for people to get to invite other people into the testimonial groups, so that you don't have to become an expert and you don't have to memorize 1,000 different testimonials. You can simply invite people into those groups. There's a way to tag people so they're connected to you, so that when they decide they want to buy product or want to join your team and join your business, that the administrators will see the tag and they'll know that they belong to you and send them your way. That's something that we didn't have previously, pre-internet, and I'm learning how to use that, and indeed using it pretty successfully. And I think that it is a marvelous way to add to what we're doing with the presentation. So again, we want to touch on with this presentation several of the goals that we know that is going to be very meaningful to the people that we're presenting to. We want to show them how the timing and the security, the timing and the security of our company is going to be beneficial for them. In fact, the company that we're with presently, Govee, is in 40 countries around the world, and they are classified as an e-commerce company with a subscription base. And this is a little bit different. It's like Amazon started out with just books. We started out with our flagship product, which was fuel tabs. And indeed, we've added 3 different categories and divisions. People can take advantage, as I said, of 1, 2, 3, or 4 of them. So what you want to do is enable people to start dreaming again, to let them see that this avenue, should they choose to join you on your journey, will help them curb inflation. It will help them give them more money in their pockets to make up for the inflation that they're losing. Indeed, it can even help them create full-time or even more type of income for themselves and their family. And they can attain financial freedom, and along with time freedom, and also the ability to create wellness and wealth, physically, mentally, spiritually, and emotionally, is very important. So when you're presenting, you know this person or the people that you're presenting to, so you want to add that in. Here's some technical stuff, and I'm not going to talk about the internet and stuff like that. What you're really going to talk about is the company culture, their pay plan, the different goodies that they offer. For instance, Govi is very, very generous with the people who attain success in them, and they've, I think, had 6 or 7 different mini vacations, 5, 6, 7 day vacations, and they just had a cruise for some new people as well. And indeed, they're going to take about 40 or 50 people in January on a cruise. And those people right now, we're working to see what people will go on that cruise. There's 4 different categories. One category is for the people who sold the most coffee memberships for our coffee club, people who have recruited the most people, people who have the most customers, and people who help who have the most points for the champion bonus, which is our residual income. So if I was speaking with Miss Vivian and presenting to her, and I knew that Miss Vivian's needs right now were to make $500 to $700 a month extra due to her situation, whatever it is, because we discussed it, then I would focus on that. But I would touch on all the other things because that's called dream building. And those are the things that you want to touch on too. You want to make sure that you review your notes before you do a presentation. And you always see me looking down or gazing down because I also prepare and take notes, indeed, when I'm doing a training, even though I may have done the training many, many years in a row. So you want to make sure that you connect with these folks emotionally and intellectually. What does that mean? That means that when you take the time to review your notes and you know what the people's challenges are, and you've jotted down perhaps some birthdays of themselves or their family, or their mom is going to be 100 years old, and you bring that in as you're chatting with them, it makes them feel that you're not they're not a number. You're not just after their pocketbook. This isn't about you making more money off of them. They really feel emotionally that they have a connection with you, and they feel RS really listened to me when I told her 5 weeks ago that my grandma was going to be 100 years old. And indeed, they share other things with you. And it's very, very important to connect with your people. When we have an e-commerce or direct sales or a network marketing company, the magic word is retention. And in order for you to retain the people, you want to show them how the steps that they need to take so that they can successfully create the amount of money that they require and need, and even surpass that. But you want to let them know that you are there for them as a team. So education is very, very important. And that appeals to their intellect. You want to make sure they know that you have different tools to use. For instance, the Facebook group with testimonials that I talked about, which in itself is probably not unique, but the way ours is set up, it is unique because I have a very good memory. I was a teacher, but I don't have to memorize 1,000 different testimonies from 4 or 5 different products. I could just point people to the direction of that testimonial group and let other people lead the way and do that as well. And you know something, people appreciate that because most people cannot do what you do. Don't ever discount the talents or the ability that you have to jump on a telephone, to jump on a Zoom or a FaceTime or whatever it is, and or a WhatsApp, and be able to talk with people and do a presentation. The number one fear around the world is the fear of talking. Believe it or not, it still is. It's an age-old fear. So believe it or not, I have never really been comfortable doing this. Every time I walked into my classroom for 25 years, every day I would close my eyes, pull back my shoulders, close my eyes, and ask God to please give me the guidance so that I could be effective and give value to my children on that day. So I do the same thing when I prepare for these trainings and these calls as well. And every time I talk to people in a group setting. So you want to show people in your presentation how your business is mainstreamed. Who embraces network marketing? Is this an off-the-wall thing? Is it something that nobody knows about, or it's in the closet? No. People like Warren Buffett, who's one of the wealthiest men on the planet, and very, very well respected, endorses network marketing. Robert Kiyosaki, in fact, he wrote a book on network marketing with President Donald Trump. It's called Why We Want You to Be Rich. And then there are some other people too that also have thrown their hat into. A lot of the sports people do this as well, because it is a viable, legitimate way to do business, to conduct business, especially with the internet. You want to be sure that you make people aware of this so that they know that this isn't some off-the-wall kind of a thing. There are legitimate business people out there, and indeed there are lots of people. You can cite people in your organization. For instance, we have somebody in our company who I think she graduated high school and she had her children very early. She was 16, 17 years old, always wanted to own a flower shop. That was her big goal in life, to own a flower shop. She did that. She met a couple of other people, got some training in network marketing, met another lady at some of those trainings. They have coupled up, and they happen to be very, very successful, earning $100,000 a month on some months together. And that's just an amazing story of success. It doesn't matter where you come from. It matters where you're going and how you get there. So you have to be involved with a team of people who are going to encourage you, who are going to educate you, who are going to show you the way and show and share the tools that we have to help them succeed. So practice your ability to ask people for the sale. So after you describe your company, describe your pay plan, talk about your products and how those things will benefit the person that you're chatting with. And if you're doing a group setting, you might be doing a Zoom and there might be 25, 50, even 100 people on the call. I like to do one-on-ones. But when you are called upon to do a long presentation like that, it's very interesting. You can make some assumptions. Most people need some extra money. There's 30% inflation, so you can talk about that. Indeed, most people will be struggling at the end of the month. There's much more money than there is money. So you know for sure that people need money. You know that in this particular company, we have a culture that is very humane and we all pull together and there's no cliques and everybody is forging ahead for the benefit of the company and every individual in the company. For instance, I was mentioning to David that the Jewish holidays are coming on Friday. I will not be available. They're the holiest days of the year, Friday night, Saturday, and Sunday. I'm going to miss the Saturday training for our company, but you folks can call any one of the people that are above us, and I won't mention names right here, but we are a fully functioning team. So if I'm not available, feel free to pick up the phone and call the upline, get a hold of them on Facebook or LinkedIn, however you can. And somebody is always willing to help you. That is part of the culture of this company, which is very, very important. So those are some of the important things. The pathway of how we're going to get from starting a person off to achieving their success is very, very important. You want to lay that out step by step for them. You want to be the messenger. You do not want to be talking about you all the time and your successes. You want to show people the different products, the different pay plans, why they're advantageous to them, why our company is different than other companies for all the various different reasons that I've talked about. And then you want to somehow bring them into the closing of this. You want to be clear, you want to be consistent, you want to be rephrasing everything that you're saying so that they understand that when you do ask a question, and it can be a question that you just ask to the group of people, when people are watching a Zoom and you ask them a question, you perhaps won't see them, but they'll either be shaking their head and in their brain, they're answering the questions that you ask them. So if during your presentation, you're saying, ladies and gentlemen, we have 4 different trillion-dollar divisions, and these are the different divisions. And I would bet that all the people here can see where there would be at least 1 or 2 of the divisions that might be advantageous to them, that might be interesting to them. And think about which one of those ones you might like to focus on. And you know what'll happen? People will start thinking in their brain, well, I'd like to focus on the new smart coffee. I'd like to focus on the fuel tabs because fuel prices have just gone up. My grandma just came down. My grandma's obese, and I would really like to have her lose weight because her labs just came back and they're not very good. So if I can get grandma to lose weight with this product, that would be wonderful. Whatever it is, they're going to start talking to themselves in their brain. So if you're presenting correctly and the right way, and then you ask these open-ended questions, but you have thoroughly thought through the kind of question you're asking, people are going to answer themselves. So it's like they're closing themselves and they're selling themselves. So I might say, Larry, if I'm talking to Larry, I might say, Larry, how meaningful would it be for you to be able to take your 2 kids over the Christmas vacation and go to Italy and see where your family was from and see that great uncle that you told me is still there? How meaningful would that be for you? How would that change the future of your children's outlook on life and the type of things that your children will think that are attainable for them and in reach for them success-wise? And also at the same time, Larry, you will be strengthening your family ties from across the world. So these are called rhetorical questions. You're asking them. You don't necessarily want the person to answer you, but again, in their brain, they are answering them. So when you get to the end of the presentation, what you want to do is you want to give a synopsis of it, complete the presentation, and touch on all the different things that you've talked about that would be advantageous to everybody. And then what you want to do is you want to say, what would your life look like if you could make Miss Vivian an extra $500 or $700 a month that you told me a couple of months ago that you needed right now? And ladies and gentlemen, would you like to get started? We have several different ways to get started. I might talk about the several different products that we have available. And then I would say this, I would say, which product division or which is the best way for you? Do you see yourself getting started? Or which is the best way for you to get started? I like to say, which is the best, what is the best way that you see yourself getting started? Would it be with the fuel tabs? Would it be with the weight loss for your grandma? With this product, and this product? Would it be with our smart coffee? Which one is the best way for you to get started? One of the things that I learned as a parent and also as a school teacher is that when you give people, you ask people a question and then you give them a choice, at least 2 things. Guess what? If you're a parent, you already know the answer to this. They will pick one. So it's the same thing with adults when you're presenting to people. Ask them which way would be the best way for them to get started. And I always ask people, if it's a one-on-one, whether I'm on the phone or on a Zoom, would you like me to practice good customer service and enroll you for you? I can do it in a minute or 2. Would you like me to walk you through it? Again, notice that what I'm doing is I'm giving them a choice. 95% of the people say, oh, you would do that for me? And I say, yes. And then I say, well, which product or which package did you think would be more advantageous to your family to get started right now? And then I go through the process of enrolling them. Make sure that where you're presenting is, if you're doing a Zoom, is an uncluttered space. Make sure that everybody that's in the household knows that you're going to be working. This is work time. Invest them in what you're doing. You've heard me talk about that before. Tell them you'll be doing a presentation and talking with people, and invest them in what you're doing so that your success becomes their success. The kids know that they'll have an opportunity to go see great Uncle Leo in Italy if you can move towards that goal, and invest them in keeping quiet, invest them in leaving you alone for that period of time, invest them in 4 days a week between 7 and 9 o'clock p.m. You're going to be in your office and they need to keep it down. And again, make sure you have an uncluttered space, because that leaves an uncluttered mind. Ask questions that the answers will actually present their own solutions. So, Larry, how would it benefit Grandma if she was taking our weight loss product? That's a no diet weight loss product, and it lowered her blood sugar levels, and she also dropped 50 pounds. And then her labs from the doctor came back, and some of the plaque in her veins went away, and her heart was a little bit stronger, and she had more energy. Would that be something that would be advantageous? He's not going to say no to that. So then you can discuss that particular product and the packages of that particular product, and ask him which one he would prefer to get started with. So those are closes, but as you see, they're very easily done, because you know the information, you've had it already, you've prepped yourself. Talking with one-on-ones or 2 people at a time. When you're talking to a large group of people, you just present hypothetical things, because if there's 10 people or 100 people on the call, somebody's going to need to lose weight. Somebody's going to want to save money on fuel tabs. Somebody loves coffee, but they get the jitters and shakes, and they would just love to get themselves on coffee that is not only healthy for them, that they can drink and alleviate all that stuff, et cetera, et cetera. So again, you're asking questions, and they're rhetorical in that the people are going to be answering them and going like this in their own minds. So they're closing themselves. Be you. Let your personality shine through. People want to see you. They don't want to see somebody who's very polished. And years ago, we were always taught dress for success. If you're going to the supermarket, put on a business suit. Even the ladies, put on a business suit and wear your fancy gold earrings and your pumps and, stuff like that. Be ready for anything. Well, the truth is, I don't think people should dress like a schlump, but be who you are. It doesn't make any difference. Today is a very different culture than it was 15, 20 years ago. So in closing, what I'm going to tell you is, whatever it is that you're talking about, whatever company you're representing, the magic and the success of any presentation is the one that allows the prospect or prospects to feel that you have acknowledged them, that you are talking to them in a way that they are responding emotionally and intellectually. You have been clear, you have been concise. There is a call to action, and they feel that that call to action has been personal. And the way that happens is when you give close with several different solutions, as I just said, Grandma with her weight loss, or your son who's pinching pennies and working 3 jobs, getting himself through school, and he needs money for gasoline, and our fuel tabs would help with that. Taking your children to Italy to see great Uncle Leo, and have it be tax deductible. Having $1,000 in your cookie jar because you saved that money on the fuel tabs by not putting too much gas in your car. And indeed, Miss Vivian, who told us that she needed $500 or $700 at the end of the month as an example, and you have shown people how they can do all that. So be concise, be clear, be you, be friendly, have a clear and uncluttered space, and always be willing to be there for the people and let them know that you are building a team, are part of a team, are part of a company that embraces everybody and is our CEO, Lance Conrad, says, don't sponsor yucky people. And think I'm going to close on that. I don't know about yucky people, but I am looking for folks who are, I don't care where they come from. I don't care what their profession is. I'm looking for people who have heart. I'm looking for people who are kind. I'm looking for people who are teachable, trainable, and who are willing to do the work to attain their goals and dreams. The most important thing is that those people would be willing to extend themselves to other people to help them live their goals and dreams. So thank you very much for listening to how to do an effective presentation, no matter what company you're in. Please get back to the person who invited you to listen in on this training. Discuss it with them. If you have any questions, you can feel free to contact me or contact them. And blessings to everybody. And remember, if you think you can, you can. If you think you can't, you can't. But I know that you will. Thanks, everybody, for joining us. Have a great week. Good night.